Peace and light, Indigo Blush here. Today, I'm going to speak on sun, moon, and rising signs, and a little bit of different elements of our charts that we may be more relatable to than just our sun sign. For me, I have never been able to really relate to my sun sign. There are elements of myself that I see in Victorian nature, like the aloofness and sometimes the bullheadedness, but I'm better in that now as I've matured over the years. But for the most part, a lot of times um, I really couldn't relate to being Taurian. I've always been into astrology, always, even as a little girl, and knowing that I was Taurus. I used to always, try and say, okay, well, yeah, I am a Taurus, a bull, and blah 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 blah. But when you're young, you just say that. But I still, growing up, I didn't really understand why I didn't feel that way. But now, within going into 4 years now, I've become more understanding of why couldn't relate to being a Taurus sun, and that's because we have more elements to ourselves than we even know exist. For me, um, finding out about the moon and the rising signs really did help me to understand who I am in so many ways. Um, having a Gemini moon sign and an Aquarian rising sign. Rising sign is also called the ascendant sign. That helped me to understand myself more. I'm quite Aquarian in my way of thinking, in my way of acting. That oddness that comes about, that wisdom, um, the intellect is from a lot of both the Gemini and the Aquarian natures, because air loves to learn and research and read and all that stuff. And so those are the two elements of myself that I kind of relate to a lot, especially in more mature years. I understand why I am the type of avid reader and learner and just wanting to investigate things the way that I do. Air tends to question and just tends to kind of know. So for me, that helped me to understand why I am not very Taurian at all. Um, and we will always be that sun sign. Whatever our sun sign is, that will be a strong element in who we are. But for a lot of us, we would tend to relate more to sometimes the moon or the rising sign. And as I said, I really relate a whole lot to my rising sign. Um, that's my first house sign. That's your rising sign is your first house sign, and that the way it's placed in your chart lets you know why you may feel more relatable to that particular sign. And for me, I'm very Uranian, very. So, I've always wondered why I was deemed kind of weird or odd or whatever, and just different in so many ways. I get that from my dad. That was something that, I found myself being more like him in that aspect. A very odd and different type of guy. So, for me, I've always been able to relate to the Aquarian personality. Very humanitarian, very detached. Um, the aloofness, of course, from Taurus and Aquarius together, that just makes me that much more detached. Seemingly uncaring, but so far from the truth. Um, those are parts of myself that I'm having to learn to contend with as well. And so, as you start to learn and understand that you are so much more than your sun sign, you'll be able to start to grow and humble yourself in certain ways. And even in reading other people's charts and understanding their signs, the other elements of who they are, that'll help you to be able to relate and understand, why they may act this way or that. And that will, kind of eliminate certain conflicts from time to time. For me, I know it has um, really helped me out in understanding the way people may tick, and even myself. Um, there are other elements to our charts as well. Um, Chiron, that's the strong part of our chart. Really, to me, the more I grow and read and understand astrology, I think that every part of our chart um, are strong points. It just depends on which part of that chart we have more energy in and where the planets, like I said, are lined up. So, your Chiron um, is the planet that you are to become in this lifetime. Um, whatever sign you were in a or energy that you were in a previous lifetime, that polar opposite sign is your Chiron sign, and that is what you will be more whole in becoming in this lifetime. Um, and also your Venus sign, that's your love sign, and that helps you to understand why you and your mate may not be so attracted to one another intimately because your Venus signs are not compatible. You could be so compatible in so many other ways, but if your Venus sign is not compatible, that makes things more challenging in the bedroom. Um, and then the aspects, the way that your chart may cross the points and everything, you and your mate may have issues because of, the conjunctions and the concussives, and I'll get into those things eventually as well. I'm still kind of learning those too, but they have a lot to say in how we relate to our mates even. Um, for me, I used to always wonder why I was so attracted to airy guys, especially the Aquarian. And knowing, especially that Taurus and Aquarius are supposedly not attracted to each other, they're not relatable. But I always wound up with someone who's Aquarian. And then, as I learned and understood and investigated now, I've looked at the past, I guess, 4 relationships. Now that I've just been all out in the world, but I think the past 4 relationships, um, long term, by the way, for the most part, have all had Aquarius energies in their charts, in the stronger aspects. Either the sun, moon, or the rising signs have been Aquarius. Um, and so I'm like, wow, that helps me to understand why. Because my ascendant sign is Aquarius, and so I'm very attracted to the Aquarian male. Um, but the air signs I tend to gravitate towards anyway, especially in my more mature years. When I was younger, I did tend to date like more Taurians. I tend to end up with Taurus, which was always funny to me as my significant other. But as I've grown, I wound up with an airy Aquarian energy in my life. So, and those are things that help us to understand why we end up with certain people that we are not supposedly relatable to. Um, Here lately, I've been attracting the more charming air sign, which is Libra. My son is a Libra, very charming young man. They tend to be the more loving of the air signs. Um, but that's because my Chiron is the polar opposite of the Libran, and that's the type of energy that I'm growing into and desiring to have in my life now. I guess I am getting past the Aquarian energy because I developed that part of myself. I was supposed to grow into that part of myself as well and accept that part of me, who I am. And so now, I guess I'm supposed to be relating more to the type of air sign that can give me what I really need as far as that feeling side of myself. Because I tend to run from that feeling side of me. Um, Having double air in my chart, I'm sure, has a lot to do with that. And then having Taurus as that sun sign, which is a very aloof sign, non-emotional, doesn't show our emotions at all. I I'm assuming that I'm growing into that need for affection and caring and emotion, and that's what the Libra gives. They are very detached because the air is detached regardless, but they show more Libra energy. I mean, they show more affection and emotion than the other two air signs. I talked to my son, and he's 17, and we had a very deep discussion a couple of months back on how he relates to um, females. And he's had this little friend who told him that he does not show emotions, and that bothered her. And the way he explained things to me was that he really didn't understand what was going on. And as he and I finished our conversation, he didn't have a clue. He didn't have a clue. I had to explain to him why he was wrong in this way or that. Not necessarily wrong because that's what works for him, but we all need to grow in certain areas. That's why we're here. We incarnate for lessons, and so I told him that that was an area that he needs to grow in and learn to extend himself and show his emotions. And that way he won't run the little girls away. Not that he could care, because he doesn't seem to care at all. Which I'm sure deep down inside he does, but for the most part, he doesn't get it, and he just keeps it moving. So the airy guys, they tend to seem less emotional, um, yet they are very emotional. Even the Aquarian and the Geminis. The Gemini is a player though, and so you're really not gonna get the I love you type of energy from them. The Aquarian is very secretive, so it's gonna be hard to get any type of I love you showingly from them. They're just gonna, as far as like touchy feely type with them, as I think that they feel like as long as they take care of you and show you in that way that they care, then that's how you're supposed to know that they care. Other than that, you're not gonna get many I love yous from them. You're just not, unless of course they have like a water sign in their church or something, um, which is something else to understand about certain elements of ourselves. If they say that your energy exudes this, that, or the third, and you don't feel relatable to that, it's because your moon or your air sign may dominate that part of your chart, or again, the aspects of your chart may be strengthened in certain elements because there are so many other points in our charts that we relate to. Like again, for me, I'm very Neptunian. Though I'm very detached, Neptune has me like the most emotional and feeling and can absorb all the energies of the world so easily. So I just kind of wanted to speak a little bit on um, our sun signs, moon signs, and rising signs today, to help us to get a better understanding of ourselves somewhat. And maybe if for those of you guys who are interested in understanding yourself more, and can relate to that and accept that to be a truism, in my opinion, then go and investigate it, and you'll be able to relate more to yourself and understand who you really are, who you are to become. It'll be a benefit. Um, so take care, and I'll be back again with another topic. Maybe even this one again, but maybe deeper or whatever. So I'll be back again. Peace and light.